Good morning. Welcome back to Sending Ravens. Got the cards all shuffled. Let's see what our Friday's looking like. Are you one of those people that loves Fridays? I don't know. I don't know. Because it's Friday. You know what they say though? The best ritual day. So the best day to do a ritual of any kind and or celebrate is a Friday. Yeah, and that may be why we like Fridays. I mean, besides the fact that humans created this thing called, a weekend. And that wasn't created that wasn't that long ago. There wasn't any such thing as a weekend. Forget how many, a couple hundred years ago? Or was it 100? I don't know. My facts are pretty fuzzy on it, but I know that there wasn't a weekend, and then it was created that there was a weekend. So if anybody knows what I'm talking about, right? Because humans, we didn't have weekends, and now we do. And it's kind of weird that, kind of a government would deem when we can have a weekend or some time off. It's quite interesting. Okay, but we're not going to get into that. Let's have a look at judgment here. Judgment. So something really big that you need to pay attention to. When the judgment card comes, and because it's coming as ourselves, it's talking about an internal feeling of intense sort of crossroad. We need to pay attention, and there's a big decision to be made here. Right? We're on a crossroads. It's a wake-up call. See how they're waking these people up from the dead? Or it looks like an angel is waking up people from the dead. It's kind of like, okay, it's judgment day time. It's time to figure this out. We've hit a wall here. We've got to figure out what to do. So there's a need for action when the card comes. It's a call to figure this out. And it doesn't really tell us which direction to go. It just says you need to pick something here, one or the other. You are literally on a crossroads when that card comes up. Okay. Now in the past, we've got this beautiful healing sort of vulnerable card. So this possibly stems from either a health issue going on, right? Because when that card comes up, there's a need to heal, or we've been trying to heal, or we feel vulnerable in our body, in the world. Could be psychologically vulnerable too. So we've got to this place where we have to make a choice because we don't want to feel vulnerable anymore. We don't want to feel like we're just wide open to all kinds of things, right? Not necessarily good things, because underneath it badly aspects the star. Of course, the star can be good, and if it comes as advice, it's saying, allow yourself to be vulnerable, open up, right? Heal yourself, or love yourself, or be loving, or stay open. But it's under this card, and the Seven of Swords. So now it's badly aspected. Also, we've got Judgment. So these are kind of heavies, which create this card to be a little heavy, because when she's sort of in a badly aspected situation, she's a little tricky. She feels sorry for herself. She's a little bit focused. See how focused she is on her cup? And her cup's very ornate. And see how the water, there's no boundary between her and that water. When that tide comes in, she could be engulfed in water. Her whole throne could be engulfed in water. So while she's busy completely focused on her own feelings and her feeling process, which of course is necessary sometimes, but we can overdo it and get engulfed by our feelings, and even just over focus on our feelings, and now we're giving them way too much power in a way, right? And I understand feelings are important, but it's also important to remember you can choose how to feel about some things, right? And this card tells me that there's a need to choose how you feel and make a choice here about something. You're on a crossroads, and you could either get engulfed by your feelings and let them rule you like she does, so you can get really depressed and sad and be completely ruled by your feelings, okay? Or you can bust out of that. I love this card. So that card's like choose to be, so go through this gateway and choose to be happy. So one of the feelings here could be happiness and joy. And instead of being engulfed by the feelings that don't create happiness and joy, maybe choose to look at what's good about your life, what you are joyful for, what potential is there, and not what isn't, and what makes us feel sad, right? We can choose. Okay, we can choose to focus. She focuses on feelings, and this card is saying, choose wisely what you're focusing on. Okay, be strategic mentally. Choose with your mind where to focus your feelings. Isn't that interesting, right? Because you can tell yourself you feel a certain way, and then you do. But you could also tell yourself you feel a different way, and then watch, you're going to end up feeling that way. So you can make, better choices about what your feelings are. And people say, well, I don't have a choice about my feeling. Actually, you do. Actually, you do. There's a way to talk to yourself, and that's what this card talks about. There's a way to strategically use your mind to tell yourself how you're feeling. We tell ourselves that we're feeling sad, we're depressed, we go over and over old things, and that recreates the feeling of, we were rejected, we were, bad things happened to us, blah, blah, blah. We go over and over these things, and actually we have a choice to choose to go over and over what good things happened in our life, right? We could choose to focus our mind. She focuses on her feelings, but we could choose different feelings to focus on. How about that? So she absolutely steps through a gateway, loves herself. She puts herself first, okay, or he or whoever this is talking about. Self-love, put yourself first and choose to say something kind and loving and find what was good about the past and not always what was bad. It'll be healing. It'll heal you. It'll step you through a gateway. You're going to create more happiness. Some people, though, funny, because she doesn't always like creating happiness. She sometimes likes melancholy. So then, in that case, you need to admit that you're enjoying your melancholy and be honest about that, right? When people tell me over and over about all their hardships, I'm always like, okay, so tell me something good about what happened in your life, because it couldn't have all been dreary. Right? I know we have hardships, I know that, but sometimes it's important to focus on what is good and what is happening that could be good, because you can create more of it. That's quantum physics. Where you focus and vibrate to will create what is, right? Our world is a reflection of, it's literally the world reflects back to us exactly how we feel about it. So be careful and cautious with your feelings. Direct them. Okay, see that Ace of Swords there? Use your mind. Yeah, it's karmically necessary. Brains are not supposed to be in charge, but we use them as a tool. So let your higher self direct your mind to focus it in the direction to help your life be more the way you say you want it to be. Wow, that was a bit heavy. Okay, have an awesome day. Sending you ravens on that, this kind of a day. Have a wonderful Friday and a weekend. And yeah, talk to you soon.